Your wife is an adventure. She's a piece. She's a mystery you need to unravel. So you are in the mood and then she says, no, that's it. It's a reason, an excuse for you to go out. No, you are being lazy, callous, and dumb. But 90% of women will let you know that when they say no, it is not no. Women are portals between the natural realm and the spiritual realm. You know, if you are a woman or you are a man and you are privileged, let me say you are blessed to have the gift of a woman in your life, or you have daughters, then you need to watch this video. In this video, I want to highlight the significance of women in our lives that society subconsciously is silent about. Although there are laws that protect women, but I believe that one of the major causes of malfunctioning relationships is because of the lack of understanding from men about women. It is not a coincidence, as the Bible teaches that men should love their wives and dwell with them with understanding. Because if you do not understand a thing, you don't place value on it and you malhandle it. And this is exactly what is happening in relationships. There are so many people who are malhandling women, the women they are privileged to have in their lives. And I believe that one of the best gifts that nature has given mankind is the gift of women. I am privileged to move with so many wealthy men. One basic thing runs among them, and that is how they handle the women in their life. How they handle their wives, how they handle their mothers, how they handle their sisters, how they handle the women in their lives. That is a distinctive attribute between the highly successful and the commoner, because they understand the importance of women in their lives, even among polygamous men. Because from where I'm coming from, polygamy is accepted. They treat their women with a high sense of respect. And even if they want to approach a woman, their approach towards a woman that they are interested will really blow your mind. You hardly find a successful person, a rich man, or any of these, people who are really successful in the system denigrating the presence of women in their lives. I talk to so many women approach me for advices and etc. And this thing runs through among all the women and all these men who approach them. The man will let the lady know the importance of their wives in their lives. Although they are proposing to another lady, they will never disrespect their wives to the lady they are interested in. When a young guy wants to propose, a married young guy wants to propose to a young lady or is cheating on their wife, I'm using this analogy to help us to understand how successful people value and respect women and why it is a key factor to why they are succeeding. A matured man will tell a young lady that I have a wife, but I'm interested in you, or I want to take you as a second wife or as a third wife. Shows an interest in the woman and how he can improve the lady's life. In all these approaches, he let the lady know that he has a wife that he loves and he respects. Juxtapose that to an immature and inexperienced young guy who would even remove his wedding ring and tell a lady he's interested in that he doesn't have a wife. Some go to the extent of even saying that their wives are dead or their wives are wicked. They tell all those kind of funny stories just to woo another lady to sleep with. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to point out that how you see women, how you value and respect women goes a long way to show how you succeed. In his book, How to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he spoke about sex transmutation, the importance of women in successful men, and how these people came down when they disrespected their women. He spoke about Napoleon Hill, Bonaparte. He spoke about so many men of history who rose to the top and came down because of a key factor. They disrespected their women. One thing I realized about women is that it's not about cheating on them, but it's about how you respect and how you treat them. If I've noticed this trend on social media, it's become a meme where people are asking or making fun. It's like a pun. What do you bring on the table as a woman? And we laugh at it. They put up some funny images and they read so many meanings and so many interpretations based on the image they put up. So what do women bring on the table? This is what nobody is talking about. She brings her value as a woman to your table. When I'm talking about her value as a woman, she is a homemaker. And this is something nobody is talking about. As a homemaker, she is your wife, the mother of your children, and your sex partner. And if you do not understand the value of sex in marriages, lose your wife or be in a sexless relationship and you understand how costly sex is. Sex is very expensive when you do not have a partner, when you don't have a wife. Stop that denigrating statements asking what do women bring to the table. What do you expect them to bring to the table? Their selves as a woman is enough. And nature made it in such a way that women provide comfort, peace, and joy to their men. After your hustle and bustle at work, you come home to a peaceful wife who grants you comfort. And this is what attachment theory is about. She's a source of your emotional safety, comfort, and reassurance. There is nothing beautiful than retiring from work in the arms of a listening wife and her presence being a heavy lifting to you. And how does she does that? She feeds you, she takes care of the kids, she takes care of the home, and then she avails herself for intimacy with you. And only matured men understand the value of this role that women play in their lives. Because listen, when there is no woman in a man's life, you have an urge for sex. What do men do? You subscribe to any means that you can get a hookup or a woman that you can turn into. Talking about a sex worker. And which is very costly, which is very expensive. The services of an escort girl is very expensive. And if you don't have money, you can't afford it. And are you gonna live all your life subscribing to the services of an escort wife? Juxtapose that to having a lovely wife at a home who is at your beck and call at any moment, anytime you want it. This is how nature does it. And that is why the Bible teaches that in Songs of Solomon, verse number 4, verse 16, Bible explicitly talks about how a woman invites her partner into her chamber. And I read, it states, "Let my beloved come into his garden and taste his choicest fruits." And Proverbs also talks about, "Enjoy the wife of your youth and let her breast satisfy you daily." So these are provisions that nature has made, and Bible teaches that. So stop asking women what are they bringing on board. Nature designed the man to be the breadwinner. I understand and I appreciate the evolution of society to the extent that women are also working. And some women are taking higher positions even more than men. We have women CEOs, we have women who have even ascended to the highest position in nations, presidents, prime ministers. All these are good, but that doesn't change their nature as women. Late Margaret Thatcher, former UK Prime Minister, as an example, with her husband, are perfect examples of a woman who rose to the top but maintained her marriage. The man will always be the breadwinner and the woman will always be a homemaker. Yes, as situations changes, a woman can be a breadwinner and a man may be a homemaker. But when it comes to the woman's value as a safe harbor of providing emotional safety, comfort, reassurance, and availing her body for intimacy for her husband's sexual gratification, every woman has that propensity. So when it comes to issues of sexless marriages, it's about how we men we treat our women, most of it, and the kind of woman you choose. So if you want to have a successful marriage, and this thing that I'm teaching is very significant because the key to a successful marriage is how you understand and dwell with woman. How each party accepts our roles, our respective roles in the marriages. For the woman to know her place and the man to know his place. For the woman to avail her body to the man and the man to avail his body to his woman. There are no games to play. But when there is that lack of understanding, and as a man you choose any woman based on outward appearance, this is where the problems comes. Because the key to selecting a woman is to find a woman that you think can respect you and call you my lord. Because according to the Bible, women should submit to their husbands and respect them, just like Sarah obeyed her husband Abraham and called him my Lord. So in your quest, in your search for a woman, find a woman who is willing to submit to you. It's as simple as that. There are no two ways about it. So the question I always ask men is that the woman who is rising in her career trajectory, is she willing to submit to you and call you as her Lord? This is not about chasing and being chased, being nice and not being nice. It's not about that. It's about choosing who will give you peace. Because once you choose a good woman and you understand her and you treat her well, your marriage is limitless. Your marriage is endless. Your union is endless. If that point was very interesting, it brings us to the next point. And this is what no one is talking about. Her role as a guardian in your life. This is what psychologists call Michelangelo Effect. She sculpts you to reach your ideal goals. And this she does by validating your ideas, encouraging your personal growth, supporting your adventures, being your number one fan, and using her natural attribute of intuition to direct you. So in biblical terms, Bible teaches that the woman is the helpmeet of the man. She helps you to reach your goals and your dreams. When Bible talks about cleaving well to his wife and the two shall become one flesh, we erroneously think that it's only about sex. No, it's about teaming up to become partners. It's about teaming up to reach your goal. Wherever there is a teamwork, goals are achieved, targets are reached. So don't see your woman, your wife, as just any person in your life. Don't treat her as any person. No, she is your teammate. Discuss your ideas with her. Let her validate your ideas. Don't think that she is dumb or she's not being schooled. No, she has a natural tendency of intuition to guide you. And men who have risen, men who are successful know that one powerful tool that women have is the gift, their natural tendency of intuition. And why are women so intuitive? Let me explain it to you. This is how it works. You know, women are portals between the natural realm and the spiritual realm. You know that any person is a spirit who has a soul and lives in a body. So the woman stands at the door to transition a human being, a person, from the spiritual realm to the natural realm. And we all know the importance of portal. So being a portal, being a door between the natural and the physical for that transition, they have easy access, natural access to the spiritual realm to transmute information hitherto that men could not have. So some of the things that women say, I feel it is not right. When you share an idea with a wife, with your partner, and she says, I feel it's not right. She can't explain. She just feels that is her intuition. And if you do not follow their intuition, I'm not saying that you should always listen to your wife or you should agree to whatever your wife says. You know, sometimes you need to do a pros and cons on your ideas and stuff. But most often, you should know when your wife's, your partner's voice matters. And as a married man, I know the importance of my wife's voice. Before I take any step, I run it through her. When she says no, I know it's not gonna work. And I'm not saying this because I'm making this video. I'm saying this because of my personal experiences with her. The number of times that I was taking steps and she said, no, I don't agree to this. And as a man, I took it upon myself that, hey, you don't see the importance of this. You don't see this way, I see it that way. And I take the step and everything comes crashing down. Not once, several times. So now she has become more like my validator. So any idea, I run through her to get her voice. What does she think? Because naturally they have the tendency to receive and transmute information to us. Her role in your life as a guardian will ensure that you reach your goal. Team up with her. Give her a voice. Give her a power. This is why most successful men empower their wives on a higher academic pedestal, because they know the value, the importance of their women in their lives. So instead of undervaluing her, downplaying her efforts, empower her to reach higher goals. Encourage her. because she's a gift to you. This is one tip I want to leave with you. If you have a partner as a man, if you have a woman as a partner, you married to her or you are in a relationship, in a stable relationship with her, this is one thing that no one is talking about. You are not supposed to have an ego when you have a woman in your life. Listen, women are very fragile. When I'm talking about fragile, I'm not talking about they being so weak to the extent that they are immobile. They are the weaker vessel. They are very emotional. They can break down easily. So to be able to deal with them, there are some women who are very strong emotionally. But even the strongest of them who are so vociferous, they still have that soft side of them. So when a man is so egoistic that you want to be the man in the house, you lose the benefit as a woman. Instead, as a man, you should rather empower your woman to have a voice and power in the home. I understand there are some stubborn women around. That's why I initially said that your choice of woman matters. But I'm assuming that you've chosen the right woman. So when you have a good woman, you're not supposed to have an ego. When a good woman is even proving stubborn, you still have to calm down. Most marriages, most relationships end because of the ego of men. And this turns out, this is very evident, and it's one reason why there's so much sexless marriages, because of the ego. A woman would always turn you down when you want to initiate intimacy. You want to approach her. Most women will turn you down. When you have an ego, you accept it as they do not want you. But 90% of women will let you know that when they say no, it is not no. At that instant, they may not be in the mood, but you need to be persistent. You don't have to give up on her. The thing about women is that they always have to be chased. And the chasing doesn't stop. Chasing women don't stop when you marry. You need to keep on chasing. And this is where I say most men are very lazy and callous with their women. They always want the easy way out. So when his wife says, no, I'm tired, I have headache, I'm not in the mood, I have cramps, etc., etc., the lazy ones, they want to go outside and be in the comfort of another woman. This is not about being polygamous or monogamous. You can be married to 5 wives or 10 wives, 10 women. If you are egoistic, you will still cheat on them. So if it's 1 wife, if it's 2 wives, 3 wives, that's the number of women as your society allows, or your traditions or your culture accepts. Women are women, and they would always be women. But as a man, you should always know how to approach. And this is where most men are failing, how we approach women. It's number 1 reason why most men cheat on their wives. When they keep saying no, we feel like they don't love us anymore, they don't need us anymore. It's a reason for us to frolic around or chase other women. Women are very moody based on their hormonal effects. So sometimes things are happening in their lives that they themselves have no answers, because these are hormones at play. So sometimes she's angry, sometimes she's excited, sometimes she's withdrawn, sometimes she's lively. Every mood of the woman needs a different approach. When she's sad, you need to have a skill to approach her when she's sad. When she's happy, she's all over the place, she's lively, jumping around, she herself will initiate the act. When she's angry, there's a way to approach a woman when she's angry. So you don't just fold your arms, withdraw from her when she says no to your advancing. This is why the Bible teaches that we should dwell with them with understanding. And Paul teaches in Corinthians that the man should know that his body is not his. Likewise, the woman should also consider her body as not hers, but for her husband. So your body is not your body, it's not for you, it's for your wife. And it's her exclusive bona fide property. The same applies to the wife. So approach is very important. And if you realize that the longer you stay away from intimacy with your wife, so much tension develops in the marriage. Except for a reason, a health reason, or a long distance relationship. But if both parties are living in the same apartment, there is no excuse for intimacy. Find a better way to approach her. Maybe at that moment, she's not in the mood. Re-strategize and come back again. Just like you were chasing to get her interest. You didn't give up when she said no. I know people who chase women years, some 2 years, 3 years. We've all done it before. So you are in the mood and then she says no, that's it. Is there reason and excuse for you to go out? No, you are being lazy, callous, and dumb. You are giving up so easily. Listen, that's the beauty of relationship. It's an adventure. Your wife is an adventure. She's a piece. She's a mystery you need to unravel. This is one thing that makes most marriages succeed and stay strong. I am in my 13th year, and I really know what I'm talking about. Even when she says no, when she says she's not in the mood, I say yes. You are not in the mood, but I am in the mood. And I don't need you. I need my garden. So I call it buffet. Serve yourself. Make yourself available. And I serve myself. And it gets interesting. And we laugh and talk about it. Instead of being angry, withdrawing, throwing tantrums, and then sleeping angry, dejected. No, I don't do that. I don't have time for that. You should understand your wife. Some women really go through pains during their menses. Some women have serious migraines. You have no idea what pains some women go through. So you need to understand them, stand by them, support them, be with them, and then you get the best from them.